Okay, everybody, in case you were wondering, yes, the world has officially lost its mind. Authoritarians are getting together and parading nukes. The US is playing chicken with Russia. And oh, yeah, the sun itself just decided to join the party. Oh, in the UK, what the F? On a positive note, though, could the Epstein survivors actually finally get the justice they deserve? Well, if you thought 2025 couldn't get any weirder, buckle up, because here we go.
We the people unite.
Hey, everybody buckled up and ready to go?
Yeah.
Yes. Hi.
I like that.
Hi.
Hey.
Oh, I was going to say what a week. It's only Wednesday.
I know.
I
I
know
don't
it.
remember what day it is.
Day.
And one day was a holiday. Yeah.
Oh,
Not about that.
that's right. Okay. Obviously, we have a lot going on. Some of the topics we're covering today kind of got shoved in the background of everything else going on, as usual. But we still need to, because this is Epstein files related, I wanted to make sure that we covered the breaking news on this. So if you're ready, let's hear from our favorite Miss Jasmine Crockett.
Conversation because of the oversight Democratic leadership. And so I want to reiterate that it's the Democratic leadership on oversight that has truly been able to move this forward. I'm sure many of you don't recall, but we were sent home early to try to avoid being able to take a vote on something like getting these files. We are about doing real transparency. We don't care who's in the files, we are going after you. So if I had to sum up what happened today, we heard the stories of victims, and honestly, we heard the story of at least one person that has never come forward before today. This was the very first time that she was telling anyone in a semi-public way her story. And if I had to summarize the theme, I would say that their theme was to do something. It is probably the theme of the American people in general right now when it comes to government, is that they want us to do something. So yes, we have the roundtable, but they actually want to see some action. The fact that this started off in the 90s and we had someone who could talk about what happened to them in the 90s, but then you go down the line and you've got somebody that's telling us their story from 2008. These failures led to years and years of abuse that did not have to take place. And so the reality is this: some think that this is all over and some think that nothing else is going on. But if there was ever a RICO case, it would have been the Epstein case. So how we went from something that should have been RICO because of how sophisticated of a system this was, and this wasn't just one little sick old man that was doing stuff, but there were so many layers, whether we're talking about the banks that were involved, whether we're talking about those that worked for him, that helped him, whether we're talking about the monster known as Maxwell. And that's exactly how y'all need to refer to her. She is a monster. She is not a victim. So let me tell you, I want some action items to come out of this, because for once we somewhat look like we're bipartisan in the oversight committee. Number one, we need answers. We need answers on why it is that Maxwell was transferred from her current station or her former station in Florida down to Texas. We need to have an understanding, because everything that I heard today leads me to know that for sure she was all up and in and through this entire process. Not to mention that she was indicted by a jury of her peers, and then she was tried and convicted and given 20 years. So why is it that we had somebody, again, it almost seems like we are doomed to repeat our failures? Because why is it we have high-level people that seemingly are running cover for a criminal?
Absolutely. I'm going to stop right there. There's a little bit more on that, but that's kind of the gist of that. But I wanted to also listen a little bit to this. Did you all see the video of Nancy Mace running out of the?
I didn't see the video, but I heard about it.
I did see that like right before I got up on here. Yep.
Yeah. And that'll be, so the good news is we are getting some traction, I believe. And I want to get your opinion on this particular video. I'm going to take my earpods out and share this. And I think the question being asked is, was this real, knowing what we know of her? Or was this performative? Right? So
yeah, I would like to take another look at
it's
it.
reality TV, and that's, let's take a look at, and this is from Park Rose Permaculture. I know we've listened to her before, but
Yesterday, members of the House Oversight Reform Committee, both Democrats and Republicans, met with a number of Epstein victims behind closed doors. Journalists were waiting in the hallway to get the reaction of members of Congress following that meeting, and were surprised to see Nancy Mace walk out early. The Congresswoman was clearly very upset by what she heard from Jeffrey Epstein's victims. She later posted on her socials that she had a full-blown panic attack in the meeting. Mace has said for years and says very clearly on her own website that she is a rape survivor and a survivor of domestic abuse. So I can understand that that meeting would be extremely devastating for her to participate in, potentially very triggering. I imagine that meeting would be pretty devastating for anybody with even a tiny bit of a conscience. And I'll get to as to why in the next video. But Nancy Mace herself, again, she's proclaimed for a long time that she is the victim of sexual assault and domestic abuse. She is a massive supporter of Donald Trump, even after he was found liable in a court of law. She continues to be a massive supporter of Donald Trump, even after he and Pam Bondi said they would not release the Epstein files and that it was a hoax and we all needed to move on. I'm going to read a little bit here from a piece from USA Today that came out this morning. But I just want to encourage us all to have a healthy dose of skepticism when we watch any public behavior from Nancy Mace. She is known for performances. She's known for a certain level of inauthenticity, of manufacturing, maybe not manufacturing, leveraging a situation in public, in the press, to support her political ends. She's very savvy. She's very maneuvering. So while I want to believe that her display here of, being deeply upset and the things she said on her social media afterward, while I want to believe that that is authentic, with Nancy Mace, or y'all, really any politician, especially any Trump supporting Republican politician, please have a healthy dose of skepticism about what you are observing and understand that these folks are always maneuvering themselves to their best political advantage.
right. That's part of the point. Now, I don't begrudge anybody who's actually had that experience, right?
The problem with it, go ahead.
I think it has to be a pretty big deal, not just with Nancy Mace, but if somebody like Marjorie Taylor Greene is speaking out this much about it. And I know that Nancy Mace has pulled a lot of like performative episodes. But even just looking at her video, at this video, and looking at her face, I don't think she was acting, because I can't even imagine the things that they said behind those closed doors. I can't. So I don't think she was.
I think she was both acting and not acting, if that's crazy. I think what she did was she put on the act for the cameras that they really did bother her as a survivor. However, she knows she's guilty of being a cog in the machine that powers stuff like that, and it's guilt, and it's probably eating her from the inside out. So I bet she did have a panic attack because she's disloyal to herself.
I agree with Anitra. Yeah,
No, I'm with you on that, Anitra. But I might even add a little bit more to this. So it's okay to be a dumbass, stupid ass, racist bitch, and also have that experience. You know what I mean? So I
Bill Cosby can be a genius artist and a rapist in the same sentence. The two can be, you may not see it as that, but the two happen at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, and you can tell, and this is where I get a little weird with her. First of all, she's irrelevant, and I really don't like her. I don't like her behavior. I don't like the way that she is. I don't like her at all, actually. I don't like that she has gone through something traumatic like that. And also, I think that might have something to do with the way that she behaves. You know what I mean? Like she has been deeply traumatized in some way that has her acting
borderline-ish.
And then also because I mean we talked about this in a few episodes earlier, I think on the MG or something, but like she doesn't have the ability to really talk about anything else but trans people and how hateful she is and like what happened to her. So I'm almost seeing it as like a genuine traumatic response in her behavior of what happened to her. So I do think it's a genuine reaction, but it's just she's fucked up in the head, man. Like for real. I mean, this is not the first time we've seen some weird, bizarre behavior out of her, for real.
I don't believe her. I don't trust it. I'm sorry if she went through something traumatic, but she has proven herself to be dishonest before. And it's kind of like the boy who cried wolf. You fucked yourself by being such a lying asshole.
The thing that really pisses me off about her is she loves to like use the fact that she was SA'd like all the time, especially when it comes to like trans people and just certain things. She just loves to be like, you don't think I understand? I'm a woman. I was SA'd too.
Yeah,
it's like cool. Then you should have way more of an understanding than
Insight is key. And did you not know that you were messing around with sexual assaulters?
She looks transgender.
I was really gonna say that, Andrea. I didn't say it, but I swear to God on my mama, I was thinking that just
and that would be okay.
Yeah,
I mean that's okay, but I'm like,
as much as she talks negative about him, she looks transgender. Is my only point.
But I think the point was made. She always brings it back to herself, not to the actual survivors that were there in that room. She always has to bring it back to herself.
She's very performative. She doesn't care about anybody else. So I don't care. You know, I don't like what happened to you that happened, but you aren't going about it. The healing and the process of helping other people not happen to it. You know, like she's just all wrong in every single way. So honestly, like the empathy for you is just not here. Honestly.
Yes.
I'd rather give it to someone that is willing to actually be helpful in not allowing this to go and continue moving on. But you're just a hateful, bigoted bitch. So fuck you.
Anybody else on this one? That was pretty powerful end to that note. Thank you, May. I thought there were so many different, it was hard, to look at all the different, there were great interviews. There was one last night interview with a panel, and then there was the entire press conference today. I thought this one is really going to be interesting to see what comes from this, I think. And you might know already what I'm talking about.
Hi there. My name is Lisa Phillips, and I'm the host of a award-nominated podcast called From Now On, a platform supporting survivors. I want to thank all of my survivor sisters who came before me today. I'll be very short. In the year 2000, I was taken to Jeffrey Epstein's island while on a photo shoot on a nearby island. Who I saw and what I experienced there was a glimpse into a very dark and disturbing world. For years after, I tried to avoid Jeffrey, but he had introduced me to Katie Ford, the owner of the Ford Modeling Agency. Epstein's reach went to the very top of fashion, arts, and entertainment. This did not just happen to underage girls in Florida. In New York City, hundreds of young, ambitious women were abused by him. Epstein was not just a serial predator, he was an international human trafficker. And many around him knew, many participated, and many profited. And yet he was protected. So I stand here today for every woman who has been silenced, exploited, and dismissed. We are not asking for pity. We are here demanding accountability, and I'm demanding justice. Congress must choose. Will you continue to protect predators, or will you finally protect survivors? And also, I would like to announce here today, us Epstein survivors have been discussing creating our own list. We know the names. Many of us were abused by them. Now, together as survivors, we will confidentially compile the names we all know who were regularly in the Epstein world. And it will be done by survivors and for survivors. No one else is involved. Stay tuned for more details.
So I'll stop that one right here. Interesting.
Run tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere.
Yeah. She's the only one of color that's come forward. We don't know about all the other survivors, right?
It just amazes me that there's only 2 people that have been even charged. Have been charged. There's cooks and there's decorators and builders and there's all kinds of people.
Yeah, no, I mean, it might not have been. It seemed like, and this sounds so sick, but it seems like Jeffrey and them, they got a type of the women that they like to abuse and assault. That's the first Black looking person that I've seen in this. And not that I'm saying that they are not there, or like there aren't survivors there, but also we got to remember one thing underlying, that nobody gives a fuck about what happens to Black women. So they're not going to be the ones at the forefront of this anyway. So we got to remember that, because, it is just what it is.
They ain't going to sell the case as quick as the other.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Those men must be very, very scared when they heard.
Oh, I know it. I'm scared for the girls.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I want to know. What do you think about them creating a list? It was a little bit vague when they said confidentially. Does it?
Yeah. Maybe for their lawyers, or I don't know.
Or maybe they just said it to cover themselves legally.
Yeah, there was a lot. They were so grinning in the background.
Yeah, because like
if you gotta say legally and do that shit gangster on the outside and go ahead and just wreak havoc on these people. They don't deserve any mercy or nice treatment or propriety here. Fuck them. Go ahead and do what you gotta do.
But if they because that'll open up discovery.
Yeah, if they keep the file secret, then the people on the list could say they're slandering their name, and we wouldn't know.
And then go ahead and sue, and then, bitch, I'm not paying you a goddamn dime. You can sue me to oblivion. I don't care.
I want to know, did they get the other 2 signatures they needed from the Republicans?
Oh, yeah. Maybe,
Something that just made this whole thing just even worse was, did you guys see that they were like showing photos of the files that got released? There were entire pages just blacked out.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of that? It's just insulting to these poor women that went up there and were brave enough to speak out. And this shit is just insulting.
But Katie, it's a hoax. The president told us it's a hoax. So what are you talking about?
Well, the other thing,
he must be right.
Yeah, there is legally under the judge, I think initially, that some information it has to remain sealed. I do remember reading that, especially with the
that I understand
grand jury testimony.
But didn't they say it's 97% of that information was already given to the public? Or
yesterday they said they didn't give 97%, and then today they came on TV and kind of.
I got a video. I'm gonna put it in the chat for you, Kim. Just to put in a link for our viewers down below, because there's a video I saw today. Political Punk. I don't know if anybody's seen his work, but he's super cool. Yeah, he calls himself the Political Punk, and he went through a list of 30 women that came out and said that Trump had assaulted them in some way. It might not have been straight up rape, but it was like, he forced a kiss on them or groped them or reached under their skirt type shit.
He even admitted
that's
to
true,
just
'cause he
walking up to
admitted
women
that.
and
And
kissing
I talked
them.
to that about 2 weeks ago on the Friday when that little boy named 18 of them.
Yeah, and it's
there
a
are a lot
whole
of
list of 30 women. It's
Yeah.
a really good video, so I'll make sure to share it with everybody for
Yeah, a
sure.
lot of women have shared that, and that's
Mhm.
why it's,
And it's enough to give you
frustrating.
nightmares.
It's interesting, that lady in the first video we showed, I can't think of her name right now, the one from Oregon. She's in Oregon, but she's from my hometown, and we grew up together in the same town.
Oh, really?
Her grandparents still live here, so she thinks a lot like me. I watch her.
She has some good stuff. I guess she started out doing more gardening stuff.
Yes, I think she's very frou-frou, and now she's like, no.
Yeah. There's one more video. We'll play a little bit of it, just to hear. I hadn't had a chance to watch all of these. There's so many, but I want to hear a little bit of this one.
I'm Melanie Stansbury, and I represent New Mexico's 1st Congressional District. And I want to say that I'm truly stunned by what I heard today. The thing about being a victim of assault, of sexual violence, is that it not only steals your sense of self, it steals your dignity, it steals your ambition, it steals your hopes, it steals your dreams, and it steals your sense of personhood. And what we heard today is from a half dozen victims, some of whom have already pursued both civil and criminal suits against both Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, as well as from several who have never told their stories in public before. But before I turn to the substance of the case itself, I want to say to anyone out there who is currently experiencing abuse of any kind, we see you. We are here fighting for you, and we will fight for justice for every person who is experiencing sexual violence in this country, and that is what this case is actually about. But I want to be clear that what we heard today is a cover-up, and it is a cover-up of epic proportions, a cover-up involving the United States government, the justice system, rich and powerful individuals, a cover-up potentially involving foreign countries and foreign actors. And yes, here today in this House, as our colleagues are up in the House chamber in the Rules Committee, a cover-up by the Republicans in this chamber. Because as you will find out in the coming days and weeks, this goes all the way to the top. So let's be clear about that. There has been a systemic failure of the justice system for decades, a systemic failure to hold people who are powerful and have money to account, and that has allowed not just hundreds, but potentially thousands of women, not only in the United States, but around the world, to be bought, sold, and trafficked for sex, not only by Jeffrey Epstein, but by his associates and his rich and powerful friends. And as these stories come forward, whether they're stories that have already been told, there's stories in those FBI files that have not been released by the Department of Justice and which they must release because of the subpoena, or whether they are stories of victims that have not yet come forward, we will hold you all accountable for this miscarriage of justice, for the abuse of these women and the abuse of this institution to try to cover it up, because there happens to be a very powerful person at the top who doesn't want these stories out. So that is why we subpoenaed these records. That is why these victims were here today to bravely tell their stories. And whatever justice looks like in the coming days and weeks and years, we will follow every thread. We will follow every piece of evidence. We will follow every bank record. We will follow every investigation. We will follow every court order, and we will make sure that those who were abused by these men are held accountable.
Monique, I was thinking the same thing. She is spilling that tea. She didn't name it. Damn.
Yeah.
Every time I've seen videos of her, she is just on it, and
She's fiery.
I hope that doesn't like leave her. I hope that stays.
Well, it's gonna leave her because they're gonna put some threats out. They're gonna drop some dope in her kid's bag or something. I'm telling you, these people are filthy. I don't trust any one of them. I'm trying to be optimistic, but
yeah,
the preponderance of the evidence says something is going. They're not gonna let it out, and they'll kill for it. And I hate to say it. And I'm Virginia Roberts Dufresne.
Yeah. Yeah. What's evident though is it's been covered up from both sides.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So and like she said, this is why, the world has gone freaking crazy, because this is worldwide. This is not just US.
Yeah, it's international.
I mean, it's scary.
It's really
again, go ahead, Marley.
It's just so disgusting how the prevalence of this sickness where men just go after young, like underage, and they take advantage of them. And this society they never believe the women. And it's hard when you've got these rich, powerful people. You had a prince and thousands of women. That's who we know of.
Over 20 and 30 years.
Yeah, God, it's so disgusting. Every time I hear about this, it's triggering, makes me want to cry. It makes me angry, frustrated. It's just something needs to be done. I hope.
You can go back to slavery. You can go back to slavery and think about all the different colors that African American women are. And every time you look at one different one of us, like even all of us are not the same color.
Yeah.
And that was because of rape. And then you had me even not only raping
Great.
me, then
Great.
I had to let your baby, whether she was red, black, or white, breastfeed.
Yeah, that's true.
If there's anything to learn from this, it's that any amount of power that especially men can have over, in this case, like young women, it's so corrupt, and it's so disgusting.
That's why Trump wants to dismiss it.
It's not new. It's been going on since the beginning of
He
time.
wants to dismiss it so he can go up and just walk up to you and kiss you, and that's enough to make you mad. He walked up to you and kissed you, and he want men to be able to just keep doing that. And I mean, he looks horrible.
And yet, as a woman, if you fight back, he'll sue you for assault.
Yeah.
I'd throat punch him anyway.
You have something to say, Maureen, up there.
What's that, May Money?
I have something to say. Well, first of all, if Trump ever tried to come up to me and kiss me, like I said, I kick him right where it hurts. I don't care. But I know how people are frightened of him. But hey, it goes before 2016 when he was running for president. We already heard him come out of that trailer.
That's right.
He was proud of
Access Hollywood. He said, I just walk up to him and kiss him. And I'm like, you just walk up to him and kiss. I grab him.
I wish a motherfucker would pull up on me like that, bro. You gonna get some smoke in the city.
I'm just going to tell you, but it's the same thing. You think about Idris Elba walking up to you trying to give you a kiss. I'm just saying, people could do it. I'm
busting you, bro.
To even hug him. I'm
This
just
is
saying
so
that,
gross.
but it's not true.
Trump kissing anybody. It's so sick.
No,
you can just come up to me and say hello. That's all you got to do.
That here in 1990, 1995, Trump would have came up and gave you a hug and a kiss on the cheek. I would have took it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That's unrealistic.
I don't mean to date myself,
but
but
what if he grabbed you by the vagina? How about that?
I was at work. I was at work one day, and y'all remember Flip Wilson?
Yeah.
Flip Wilson, he was there talking to us, and next thing I know, he just kissed me. And I was like, what, motherfucker? So I'm saying this dates back so far that they just think they can take advantage of women.
But the thing is, you're 100% right though, because this is what the system was built on, and it goes all the way back to slavery. By the way, let's just go back to that. Like black women did not have any rights whatsoever. So we are not even a part of this conversation. There are probably plenty of black women that have been assaulted by these fucking people, and they don't even care about what happened to them. But now, now the actual, actual victims, I guess that we have to call them,
Have we
are
heard Andrea
coming out.
curse
They don't
before?
give a fuck about white
No.
women either.
What you say?
I said,
Nope.
I don't think we've heard you curse before.
Never
Not
heard
the
it.
MF.
Well, because I don't normally do that, and I couldn't believe I was just standing there listening, and I'm like, this man just kissed me.
I mean, I think it drives home the point that it was a very serious situation for you. Like, you don't usually.
Right, but that's what goes on. Think about everybody that watched Jerry Sandusky at Ohio State do what he did, but nobody's in jail but
Penn
Jerry.
State.
Okay, I'll give
Penn
y'all
State,
another one. Do y'all
Ohio
remember
State had a scandal too. but
Family
yeah.
Feud?
Yeah.
Remember that white guy on Family Feud? Oh,
Richard Dawson kissed everybody.
Kissed
Yeah.
everybody. You're so gross.
Keep in mind, though, these are children too.
They did that I think it was this summer at the the women's FIFA World Cup.
Women are not are the losing part of this war that we are in, that we are kind of like losing, I would have to say, if I'm being just keeping it a bean.
Well,
women
the
are
patriarchy
the
is
first
starting now.
targets. They don't want us to
Hey,
have
Money, he say he want to go back to. That's what he want to go back to, where he just walk up to me, kiss me, grab me by my, I'm like, man.
We literally were just talking about how they want to take away our voting rights. They already done took away our rights to abortion. They
They're
already
trying- and with the voting,
they want to be able to beat us with sticks and whatever the fuck else.
And like with the voting rights, I think it's something with like if you've changed your name from your birth name to your married name and stuff, and then just
So we have to just to go back, and we also have to remember that cultures treat women of a certain age differently. Remember the whole Mormon scandal?
Yeah.
With these brides at
Yeah.
like, what, 11? I mean,
it's not over.
It's just I want, and you
really,
can't have no
really
husband.
young. But it continues
Forgive
when
me
you
for
look at
cursing. I didn't
celebrities.
mean to do
When you
that.
look at celebrities who were, what's that background noise?
Not me.
Like an ice cream truck.
Ice cream truck.
Oh, I remember those. Yeah.
Not me.
You know the sad thing, you guys?
Where I was going back to where
Yeah.
celebrities even now are in their 80s having babies with what, 20, 30-year-olds?
Robert De Niro has like a 5-month-old. He 85.
No, that's not sexual assault. Just the thought of that.
No, I'm not
80-year-old
talking about, I'm just talking about men and their
No, I'm talking about the fact that this 80-year-old man is on top of me.
well, isn't
Right.
Caroline Levitt's husband like in his 60s?
Ew.
Yes.
You know,
And the old rule where if you're married, it isn't rape, right?
Yeah, and that's not true. It is rape, and they do still rape their wives.
You can tell Caroline Levitt got some deep, dark trauma going on. Because is she Mormon? Because that would make so much more sense to me.
That would,
I think she's just Christian fundamentalist or something.
yeah.
You know what's scary though is that 100% that those men that were a part of the Epstein, like sex trafficking, they're still doing that right now. I know for sure.
Absolutely, it's not.
No way they
It's never
stop.
go away.
Because they know they've gotten away with it, and they will continue. To
Of course, and they're being empowered to do that.
His man's name is Wes something, and he was the one that started Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein didn't have no money. The guy named Wes, and I read the whole thing.
Oh, you talking about the guy from the Limited, Victoria's
He's
Secret?
the one that had the money to fund all of this.
Were there any boys that
Lex
were
Wessner.
affected by this situation?
Not that we're aware
Not
of.
this one, as far as we know.
No, I thought
I don't think that was their thing. There are definitely plenty of boys that have been affected by this type of behavior, but I don't think
But
that
if they
was
had
a type. You can tell that they got a little bit of a type here just from the people.
But if they have clients, it's what the client wants, right?
Yeah, and then they have clients. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like Donald might not have been specifically involved with the women that were talking today, but he might have had his own little group of people that he liked.
It was decades.
That just weren't involved with Epstein specifically. And so we got to think about that, right? And so and these people were traveling all over the world. They had clients in all over the place, and rich people all over everywhere.
Well, don't forget Abercrombie and
All
Fitch
these perverts
did
and
the
all these
same thing.
people had their type, and they enlisted Jeffrey and all these people to help them get the people that they wanted.
That's
Period.
what
All
I'm
of that
saying.
money, you'll
Gotta
find them.
be some boys in that.
In the Abercrombie, it was the boys mainly.
It could be, yeah.
They're probably.
I mean,
They under
all of these
indictment right
people are
now.
closeted gay, so they probably have their own issues.
So I think the point is what we're hearing. My question would be, do you think there's hope that we might finally get to justice for some of these women? No, and
I
why?
feel like they're too powerful.
Not now.
Like Anitra said, they're willing to kill, I think.
I thought this country was the only country that was different. I thought we were different, and we had
We ain't
rights,
different.
and we could vote, and we could have our own bank accounts and our own credit cards and drive our own cars. And then next thing I know, it seemed like in 5 minutes, I couldn't do nothing anymore.
That's because it wasn't built on something stable. It was built on lies and in a real fucked up history. This country is built on oppressing people. and we the people were not meant to benefit from anything that has been built in this country. And you can see by how they're just going and running amok and doing whatever the fuck they want.
Have you guys ever seen the TV? It's a show on HBO called Newsroom. And
I watched it a long time ago.
The first
when it came out.
5 minutes of the first episode is brilliant. It's got Jeff Daniels in it, and it was in like 2012. But he's a Republican news anchor or something, and he's in like this panel, and they're asking all these panelists like why America's the greatest country in the world. And when they get to Jeff Daniels, he just shuts them down and is like, no, and we're not that special. And just goes off. You need.
It's a great clip.
If you haven't
watched
it, find it on YouTube. It's so
it's really good.
Yeah, it's a classic clip.
But before that, Tupac said in 98, in 96, and 94 was one of them. We got money for wars, but can't feed the poor. Cops give about a hero, pull the trigger, killer. He's a hero. I'm just saying, it's the same thing people have been rapping and talking about since the beginning of time. It ain't going to change. It's a different day. I want to say we are in the middle of the collapse. The collapse is going on. We are going to collapse. It's just to what are we going to collapse to? Because it's not going to just be boom, it's over. What are we going to be able to hang on to? Because the collapse is going.
Well, I still said we have to come out by the millions. I don't plan on collapsing. I plan on fighting back and let them walk up to me now.
And
there's a lot.
But our infrastructure is collapsing.
That's what I wanted to, like, me and Keisha and Katie were just talking about this on Monday. So if anybody wants to know what we're talking about, bounce back to our Monday episode on Labor Day. We
almost couldn't turn it off, huh?
Okay, so let's.
We touched on just my last little point here. Like, when this is all said and done, we need to have a foundation that is not built on the backs of chattel slavery and systemic racism and white supremacy and fascism and billionaires having their way
we
with
can't fix that because it's already done.
Oh, I mean, the list goes on and on. I am not going to sit here and go on a dummy mission to put shit back to the way that it was a few months ago. No, we need this.
It won't never go back.
It
won't never go back to the way it was. I think people need to realize that now.
Yeah, it's not going back.
So, so speaking of fascism, speaking of dictators, speaking of everything that's going on, while these are the headlines, did you guys hear about China's parade? And who was in attendance? And who was in attendance? What did you hear?
Was it
While I
Kim
pull this
Jong-un was
up.
in attendance?
Yep, he took a train over there.
Xi Jinping, Kim Jong Un, and Putin. And now Iran wants to join in with them too, and so the United States gonna be fighting itself.
Oh
This is
Putin
the
was
real
grinning so hard I seen a
threat.
dimple.
I'm Austin Westfall.
This is the
Take a look at
threat.
some of these images. We had live images of this happening earlier on in the evening. We don't have the feed anymore, but this was the military parade in Beijing as it was in action. China's president Xi Jinping convening his Russian and North Korean counterparts in Beijing for the first time on Tuesday. This was a show of solidarity with a number of countries that have been shunned by the West over their role in Europe's worst war in 80 years. Reuters says that Xi hosted Vladimir Putin for talks at his personal residence, calling him an old friend. And then a few hours later, he met with Kim Jong-un as Kim Jong-un's armored train was spotted arriving in the Chinese capital. Xi, Putin, and Kim were set to take center stage at this massive military parade earlier today. We saw images of not only Xi, but we saw Putin watching, Kim Jong-un watching as well. Shortly after these images came in, we saw this post from President Trump. It reads as such: the big question to be answered is whether or not President Xi of China will mention the massive amount of support and blood that the United States of America gave to China in order to help it secure its freedom from a very unfriendly foreign invader. Many Americans died in China's quest for victory and glory. I hope that they are rightfully honored and remembered for their bravery and sacrifice. May President Xi and the wonderful people of China have a great and lasting day of celebration. Give my warmest regards to Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un as you conspire against the United States of America. That's how it ends. National security analyst, retired Marine intelligence officer.
I'm going to just stop that right there.
This is not good. This is not.
Because first of all, Trump did not write that tweet.
No.
We know
Hell
that.
no, he didn't.
We know that.
Statement.
Yeah, it was complete sentences. It was not
not enough capitalized.
Even Miller probably wrote it.
Other things. If you watch images of the parade, it was, I mean, I couldn't help but kind of snicker, you know, when you see their parade and then you think
so many of them. It's impressive, though.
The squeaky tail.
Yeah, compared to ours, we was weak.
I'm like, and this may sound weird, but
right here it is.
But yeah, but I go back to these men, these dictators who want these big parades. It's like, what are they doing? Comparing each other's dicks or something?
That's
it's
exactly
like
what they're doing.
Mine's bigger than your kind of thing.
Heads down for a dead D.
It's pretty, yeah, it's pretty disgusting. However, this is kind of scary, right?
Yeah, I don't want them getting together on nothing, no kind of collabs.
Now, I mean, we could go forward and hear kind of what the commentator was saying about it, but pretty much it's performative is what he's saying. It's that performance. It's that show of force. It's that, China, I think China really feels that they have an opportunity right now to be the leader.
That's right.
And they do.
They do. Unfortunately, they do.
Yeah, they got to go in. They have very advanced.
Stupid.
But okay, they obviously are all together. America's all alone. All alone.
That's what he wanted. That's what he wanted.
Have anything to do with us.
Nobody can trust us because one day we say we're gonna do this, and then the next day we're like, "Nah, we're good."
Now I know why men got their balls between their legs.
Well, this was a recent statement as well, and we all know Trump says you'll see things happen if U.S. is unhappy with Putin's decision. Blah 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 blah. I'm just surprised it didn't say in 2 weeks. Because everything was in freaking 2 weeks. We look like idiots. We look like fools.
Mm-hmm. It's dangerous too, though, Kim. And honestly, in 2 weeks, I hope there's something that I really do hope that happens within 2 weeks. But I won't go on to that. But no, this is dangerous, Kim. Like, I mean, this is the easiest time to drop a whole ass nuke on us right now because our Secretary of Defense doesn't know that Signal is a drug dealer app. Okay,
and he
so
or maybe he does.
Hopefully he won't.
Maybe he does. Maybe he's the ultimate drug dealer. I don't know, but I know that drug dealers use Signal. Okay, I know that. So, like what? Like this is the most vulnerable this country has ever been, and we're sitting here looking stupid as fuck right now. I that's why I've been saying I can't bring y'all with me in the apocalypse. If it's The Walking Dead, I'm going with Rick Grimes. Some of y'all might have to get left behind. I'm not.
Some people gonna get
a
left.
little Michonne energy.
I got the katana.
I think the thing that I'm just so tired of is I'm so tired of his empty promises and empty threats bullshit. And I'm so tired of all these theatrics and looking at that gaudy Oval Office with all the crap all over.
Yeah.
Like
I have a video for Friday I'm going to do on Friday. I think it's going to be about, about America and what is really going on with us as a people that we can't see from this. It's a long story, but anyways, a lot of things going on with us internally that I think this guy put it he's Croatian or something, and he put it so eloquently. And it's a short video, but we're in a state of course, transition. But like I said, it's almost like I feel like we're like being teleported. We're going to break up and then come back together as something else, but we don't know what that's going to be. And that's a problem.
I say chaos always precedes transformation. I'd like to go ahead and listen to a little bit more of what the expert says about this, because I do think this is important and people are not watching. And that's the scary part.
Officer and host of the Strat podcast, Hal Kemper, is here. As you conspire against the United States of America, Hal, your reaction to the POTUS's words?
That is dripping with sarcasm the whole way through. And first off, that has been an issue. As they've been, if you were at the parade, you wouldn't know that the United States played a role in defeating Japan during World War II. You'd think that somehow the Chinese Communist Party did. Quick reality check: the Chinese Communist Party really didn't do that much to defeat Imperial Japan and China. It was the U.S. and what we did across the Pacific. The resistance to Japan and China was, basically supported by the United States, and we flew in stuff over the Himalayas and all sorts of stuff. So we played a decisive role, and China deliberately this year kept that hidden and such. Now, I think that last part was he personally, knows Kim Jong-un, obviously just met with Putin, has pretty warm personal relations with them, but that little hook on the end, as they conspire against the United States of America, I think that's just basically what the U.S. and certainly what POTUS thinks about what's going on over there. He acknowledges it's happening, but he's also very clear about what they're doing.
So we were watching, Hal, as this military parade was taking place. It's no secret that these countries are tight, correct? I mean, does this show of unity by China, the Russians, the North Koreans, does this tell us anything we don't already know?
A lot of what we're seeing there is very performative. Okay, they're all there, they're meeting and stuff. I didn't see or hear really much, except a little bit on a natural gas pipeline that may move forward. And I thought it was going to move forward anyway. But other than that, I didn't really see much other than the same rhetoric we've always heard. And we heard that, from Putin and Xi, before the war in Ukraine, throughout the war in Ukraine, it's been the same sort of thing. So I felt that was pretty much the same. The only difference is that Russia right now, from an economic standpoint, and probably from a political standpoint too, is getting darn close to being a vassal state of China. Russia is not a big country. It's got an economy about the size of Italy. And then you have China, which just dwarfs Russia in every single category. And in the Far East, they've been doing this soft invasion across the border that's so big that, there are many who think that at some point China may just decide to absorb the territories they lost back in the 19th century to imperialist czarist Russia.
All right. That's what I
So I just kind of, I looked at that and I didn't see anything change really different. Kim Jong-un being there was interesting. I thought it was interesting. He was in China. There have been some rough edges with Kim Jong-un's relationship with China at times. And the fact that he was there, he was viewing the parade. And of course, the backdrop is that he's sending arms and military personnel to Russia to fight in that war. I thought was interesting. Doesn't really change anything. Of course, it also talks about the paranoia that he had to take that armored train on that really long trip going up to China.
Let's stop that there. So this is my observation. No, I'd be interested to see. Those people practice marching.
Well,
when do they actually practice engaging in combat? Right?
They don't. They go and they practice in the hills.
I'd rather have our military be able to fight and not march worth of shit.
Well, I'm wondering.
I don't know.
I'm wondering.
Don't underestimate them. They meet up and they do both.
I was wondering if they have like the ones that
we got all the technology to kill all of them.
Well, I'm just wondering if they have like the ones that they bring out for show, and then the ones that actually go into battle.
They have
but
both.
Look like the leaders. The leaders all look like they couldn't run if they had to.
Yeah, they look like they've only got like a couple years left on.
I'm sorry, but when you get people together in line and lockstep like that, you should be like, look at the comparison. I'm telling you, Americans, we ain't shit when it comes to war. These people are
we got technology and ammunition.
No, Andrea, but we ain't shit because we can't even get our own damn shit together.
They make our technology.
They do.
They don't have all of our technology. I'm telling you.
And then guess what though, Andrea?
Every time
nobody likes us right now. Nobody is fucking with us right now. This whole entire planet would be like, you know what? They really pull up on us
one at a time.
One at a time.
They deep down are scared to fight us, really, because we do have the technology.
We don't have any allies anymore.
We don't have no allies. Now that's true, but we still
I
have
think
weapons. No, it doesn't matter though. We got dumb people using the weapons. I don't want somebody leading my fucking intel that my homie Damien from fucking down the street can hack in and get your military intel. Okay, that is not safe. For real. We are vulnerable and we're acting stupid
go
right
to
now.
the wrong address and post it.
Can I say something, Joe? We're saying our military is super. I don't think they are. I think
they're in Washington D.C. picking up trash.
Still do it. I know what you're saying.
No.
They done won everywhere. We win. Only one they can't win is the Civil War.
I mean, do we have an idiot?
I don't have no faith in the war.
Can I finish? Do we have an idiot in charge of the defense? Yes. But I don't think it's fair to completely discount our entire military because
that's what I'm saying.
I'm not discounting our military, but to pretend like China don't have a leg, can't fight
us, fair.
Is ridiculous.
They can walk step and step, but they can't fight.
I don't know.
I learned Wing Chun. They have like the best martial artists like techniques in all the land that actually work towards I learned Wing Chun. I know how to do Wing Chun. They use swords and shit. They like sneak up on people and shit. Okay.
We still can fight.
Yes, we can, but we're not doing a goddamn good job at it. And we are sitting ducks in a fucking war. And these people over here lockstep. And we're over here talking about how great we are.
Whoa. Let's bring it down.
We getting focused on stuff we shouldn't be focused on. They getting focused on, all these rapists, and we should already threw Trump out of office. He's the worst president in history. We should have already got rid of him. That's the problem. The problem, the perception that people have of us is negative right now just because of one person.
It should be, though, because it's the person that we are saying is in charge that we elected for our country. So we responsible regardless of what. Because I can't say that my mother is, I'm not responsible if she goes out and does something, but I'm still her child. I carry her DNA in me.
I understand.
And I'm not saying we with Trump, but whatever he does is going to affect us directly. So even if we don't want to be attached to him, we still are.
Yeah.
I read an article on that parade, and it says how China's military, because he has fired so many of his generals and higher ups, that they're pretty ineffectual. So that was very performative. They know how to put on a show. But when it comes to war planning and then executing, they're pretty ineffectual. Now,
that's what I've heard.
we have an idiot in charge of the Defense Department right now. Yeah. But what I am hoping is that we still have some generals and higher ups in place that could plan and put on an effectual fight.
And
I'm
agree.
not counting out
they're doing
our,
it now.
our fighting people.
And that's what I agree with. That's what
I hope they're doing it now undercover, and
Monique
there's
was saying it
somebody,
better
for
than
the
I
love of God, in our military that is
He
doing
just
some
letting Trump think he
undercover
in control.
silting
Trump's not really in control, y'all. They really not letting that man have
He's
control.
not in control, but he is, because he's running it, and we're
No,
on here
I know
talking about
how you
it. So
feel.
what you say don't match. It don't match.
I
I
understand
can't
that,
argue with
but
you
it
about
was
that.
just like in his first term. That we had people in the background that stopped a lot of stuff from happening, just like they gave him the wrong coordinates when he went over there and called himself, fight getting all the way through the end of the earth. He didn't know what he
I
was
get what you're saying, but we still bombed somebody.
He had the wrong coordinates in.
People don't have backbones when it comes to Trump. They just
Right.
do whatever they want.
And that's the problem.
I do have that faith. I've seen them going to too many, wars that we have won, and it's because we just don't let people like him run loose. In the end, we do step up.
The last war we won was maybe the Korean War. We lost Vietnam. We lost Afghanistan. We lost the Gulf War. We lost all those wars. Don't get it twisted.
And when you go to war,
Andrea, everybody lost the war. Nobody wins a fucking war. You know how many lives were lost? How many people were damaged from that shit? And then what they're doing to our veterans actively right now. So even if you go to war and win it, if that is something to you, you still come back and are treated like a below human status. So who is winning here? Don't worry, I'll wait.
Well, wars
I'm
never have
won
won anything.
Who's winning out here?
That's
Because
why
I don't see nobody winning.
That's why I say women never started wars. Women don't start wars. We talk about it. Even if I don't agree with you, we talk about it.
Right. So just to circle back, go ahead, Marlene.
Wars need allies. They need intelligence. And nobody trusts us with the whole signal thing.
Right.
And how Trump is just like off the rails. So this is a different time, and that makes me
off the rails
in other countries, other dictators, like banding together. Because
they were walking
isolated right now as an American. So
So traditionally, can I please? Traditionally, we U.S. have had and have been known for having a tough military, one of the toughest militaries in the world. But we also had strong allies, and we also had great leaders. And unfortunately, this idiot came in and undid all of that. That's what puts us in such danger with this. And they see it. China sees it, right? They know that we are.
How to use it. Yeah.
And that's the stuff that's maddening.
Yeah.
And they were displaying a new weapon, by the way, a new nuclear weapon.
I can see that.
China. That's
and again, then all of us lose.
Absolutely.
You're
so
right.
Yeah, we lose
let's hope that never comes to that, because we do have an arsenal of nukes that
I think it was a flex, and it was meant to, I believe, intimidate the populace, because we have a populace that's looking at something like that and thinking no one's there to defend us. And that's a really scary thing when you see all those dictators. I'm thinking about like Taiwan. I'm thinking about,
they're going to get Taiwan.
Helping Ukraine. I'm thinking about them trying to move into Europe and other places. And because we've just royally messed things up, we're kind of alone.
Well, I think he's so busy trying to be
us.
He's so busy trying to be one of them. Now that's the biggest problem. He's too busy trying to be one of them. He just
That's true.
On a shallow note, I was looking at Kim Jong-un today and I was like, he is just like Trump, just unattractive and looks like a loser. And like, I feel like this is just them trying to make themselves feel better about what fucking losers they are.
That's right.
We all have to suffer.
Keisha agree.
He on Wachovy.
But isn't that the thing though, Keisha, though? Like,
that performance.
They let him go ahead and peacock his way around. Nobody did anything about it. Like, I don't know why people are afraid of these people. They ain't shit.
I don't either.
But we're letting them happen. We let it happen, and we are all responsible for this. I'm sorry, but
they're
all
letting them do that to Ukraine. The world is letting them destroy Ukraine, and that's what I don't like. That what they're doing in Gaza, and I don't like what they're doing in Ukraine.
Yeah,
we have to be careful. North Korea is brutal to their people.
Oh yeah,
North Korea shouldn't be invited to nothing
to their people.
Yeah.
So yes, that's why they're so afraid of him.
Yes.
And we have to fight with every ounce of energy we have to prevent that from happening. Here.
Well, and Putin is abusing his armies. A lot of those people have died, lost their families.
Forced them to fight.
Yeah, forced to fight.
Kim Jong-un is also supplying troops for them. And if they don't do right and do what they're supposed to say, it's generational. You're 8 generations back, but he's giving them people, they share that bridge and they get supplies back and forth from that bridge. And so they're kind of very interlinked, but I just don't understand why Kim Jong-un is allowed to do what he's allowed to do besides his nukes.
Well, I truly believe that if we had a strong leader in place right now, the headway that the Ukrainians were making in the war with Russia, I truly believe that we'd be just about finished with this, because you have support of Ukraine by a strong leader and sanctions on Russia that would kneecap them to the point where they wouldn't be able to win this war. They're not winning. They're really not winning.
They're not winning.
It's just that
they're reacting.
And they're really not winning. It's just that
and
Ukraine doesn't have the security of having a big giant like the United States behind them, because we have the power to kneecap Russia, but he won't do it.
No, it's this
boy. And you see how Putin looked at Obama. He was scared of Obama. All of them scared of Obama.
And again, Obama is not a loser, so they're intimidated by this man that has so much power by actually being liked by people. Imagine that. What's it like to be liked by people?
And smart.
And handsome.
And all those things.
All the things.
All right. Great conversation. This is something we need to kind of keep our eyes on, but I agree with what the expert. I think what we're seeing, I'm hoping, is it is just performative, right? It is just, penis measuring and not much.
Well, I just think
that.
It's just if they think they can get in, they think they can do it now.
It's the best time to do it.
This would be the best time, yeah.
I mean, if I were an evildoer and I saw a country looking the way that we were doing, I would have done that shit too. Like right on the damn day.
They already got people here. They could be the activator.
Listening to the news today, they could have did it.
Well, and the bigger danger
But my thing is like first of all, Kim Jong-un has had control over his people for years. Okay, he already got them lockstep doing what he want them to do. So if you think that they some weak bitches, then you're fucking stupid.
She too.
But then like which one is it? Are we gonna solve this non-violently, or are we gonna have to solve it violently? Which one is it? You can't have both.
They can catch
This
us
is a
off
war.
guard. They can catch us off guard right now.
This is a war. They
nobody wins in wars.
Exactly, and I agree.
They
with
haven't
you,
waged war on us
but
yet.
so which one is it though? How are we solving this problem at the end of the day?
But
don't worry, I'll wait. Maybe we should all think about that.
They haven't waged war on us. So what are you referring?
What do you mean they
I wanna
haven't waged
clarify.
war, Kim? There's
I'm
tanks
talking
in
about
Washington,
Putin
DC.
and Kim and on us directly.
Only a matter of time then.
Hope not.
But
Guys, we don't
your
want
hopes
to
are
push
great.
violence. The last thing we want to do is push
Yeah.
violence.
I'm not pushing violence. They've already been violent.
I don't know. It's just Trump is so insane that, and he can just say one thing or just be irrational and do something where it can become a war or a conflict.
Right.
That's what Trump. I'm just scared of.
I agree with that. We have to be hyper aware. We still have the same military. They're just being led by idiots.
Idiots.
So
and we still have people in the background.
Good people in there, because I don't want to diss our military.
No, I don't.
It never was a diss to our military. I'm kind of offended by that. I don't ever want anybody to say that I said anything remotely like that. So
I wasn't saying that you were saying that. To be clear, I wasn't saying you were saying that. I'm saying that I don't think that our military is stupid, and I am a pacifist. I have never in my life defended the fucking military. But the idea that our military is stupid, I just can't agree with that. Like,
I didn't say that either.
And I didn't say you said that. Someone else
right,
said it.
Keisha? Stupid people are dangerous, okay? They really
I'm just
are.
saying we're very vulnerable right now, and our
You're
troops
absolutely
are not
vulnerable.
as motivated.
Well, what I
Day people loved America.
and I said it earlier, was that, I know we look like the village people running the military right now, but I know that we have another plan that's in the background running that don't nobody know about. I just don't believe we out of touch like that. They know we got this fool in office. They know it. I'm telling you, I believe in our military like that.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I'm with you on that. That's what I've been hoping and praying for.
Because they know
I don't think our military is weak.
They're not gonna like disclose that information. So I'm just praying that you're right.
Yeah, and I do feel that way. They looking at him every day.
There was one recently in South Korea, pitchforks, that they were able to stand up and protest and remove him for trying to enact military law. So that was done non-violently. I just wanted to answer that question. Didn't quite get to complete takeover of fascism, but there is hope. There is hope.
We're gonna see.
I'm still clinging to the hope.
Well,
all right. There's always
take our democracy back.
Agree to disagree on that one.
There's always cholesterol. There's always an extra Big Mac in there somewhere.
There's always those steps down from the airplane too.
He just had to read that thing the other day. Said he had a clean bill of health, no heart disease, no kidney, nothing.
Yeah, that's right. He ain't got no.
He's a miracle then.
That's what he said. He had Caroline Lovett read
it. I know.
Wow.
I said he's right. He ain't got no heart, no kidney. He ain't got none of it.
And he's littering at the White House, throwing shit out the window. What is that? Come on.
I don't think that was real, because those windows don't open typically. They're bulletproof. They're like, I don't buy that.
You see,
I don't like littering. That's where we cross the line, sir.
I remember back in the 80s, you'd be driving down the street, and all of a sudden a bag of like McDonald's trash and hit you in the window, be cups and Slurpee. Old milkshake juice.
I had to get on my people in Oakland because I was waiting at the bus stop, and there's trash all around a trash can. And I had to go on my Instagram and personally hold my people accountable because I don't appreciate that. Like, bitch, the trash can right there. Why don't you just put it in the trash can?
Right.
Like, why are you a litterer? Why is that like how you want to die? You know, like I was the greatest litterer in all the land. Do not litter. That's all I have to say about
it's against the law.
My father made us clean the street. We had to clean the alleys and the streets and stuff and sweep the.
It wasn't illegal till after I was born.
Y'all should have been born when me and Maureen was born. We had work to do.
Look.
Yeah,
I just want to know if Miss Beetle was still wearing her lemon verbena. Yeah, I said it.
You know, we had Beaver and Leave It to Beaver and all that stuff.
Ain't nothing wrong with giving you the business.
Everybody was happily married.
So we want to land. We had another topic today. I didn't think we'd get to it, but I want to share this before we go. We all love the Northern Lights.
Beautiful.
Which can now be seen in 18 states. But what I want to talk about on Friday is the danger of these solar storms. So, the scientists think we're going to be hit with some pretty serious ones this year. And we're already in September. So the one that is hitting now is pretty serious. But
somebody just told me today they was cleaning up their yard because they're expecting a storm.
Oh. Wait, so Kim, is that supposed to be a picture that we think is beautiful, or is that something that is unnatural and scary?
Probably both.
They are natural. It is natural when we have solar storms. That we all know normal to see it everywhere. Borealis, up in Alaska, typically in the northern hemispheres up there, we see the lights, the northern lights, which are absolutely stunning, right? When you watch the video. Right. I've never seen them in person. I would love to.
I've seen a little bit in Maine.
Bucket list.
We in 18, I think was it 89, 79. I have a video that maybe we'll show Friday. Is very educational about solar storms and solar flares. The challenge is when these are now seen in 18 states, when the solar storms get so intense, it could wipe out satellites, it could wipe out electric, all power grids. It can put us like in the dark for a bit, which could cause wide scale panic. Mm-hmm. You know, we've been warned about this type of natural disaster for a while. So,
before we go, Kim,
yes,
I got something to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say prayers, and I hope that they can save some more people in that Afghanistan earthquake. Prayers for those people.
Oh, that was a lot.
That they can save.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even hear about that.
Neither.
1,400 dead right now.
Like 1,000 people died in a mudslide in Sudan. Like.
That's right. You're right. Yeah.
The ground cracked open in Nevada.
What?
Yes, Saturday. 4.8. They got pictures of the ground cracked open.
And a 4.8?
That's a small earthquake.
Yeah, that is.
It is, but it isn't. It depends on where it happens and what fault it was. The fault and the way it happened, it was like a reverberation. They said it was shallow or something.
Mm. And this is something that I kind of like, the fact that we don't even hear about these things. How are we gonna win some sort of fight that we're in when we don't even know what's going on? How can I be an ally or help anybody when the stories aren't getting covered, when people seem to not be willing to like understand the severity of the situation we're in? I can't talk to somebody that or try to reason with somebody that doesn't see reality.
Like that.
Well, I recommend downloading Ground News because it gives you lots of news sources. It tells you the bias level, and I get the kind of news that I don't get from mainstream media.
I've been hearing a lot about them.
What's Ground News?
They've been advertising it on different shows.
It's an app. It's an app and a website that you can download the app, or you can go to the website. It gives you sources for all kinds of news. It tells you what the bias rating is, whether it's conservative, liberal, or neutral. And you can also set what kind of news you want to get. If you want to focus on international, if you want to get United States only, you want your state's news.
Is it?
Oh, go ahead.
They advertise on the Long Crime Channel.
It is free, but if you pay for it, there's some benefits to it, and it's not too expensive.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but like just to top off like what I was saying, like it's really hard to fight something that people don't know about. So yes, ground news is perfect for that, what I was trying to like say. Because I mean, we were just talking about how 300,000 Black women were, you know, fired from jobs and stuff. First of all, we're Black women, nobody gives a fuck. So like, okay, that like, how do you know to fight against something? And then someone had the audacity to come on to the channel and be like, oh well, then why don't you go sit outside the White House? Like, okay, what is that gonna do?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Okay, and be Captain Save a Ho? Like, no, like, I'm sorry, like, nobody even knows that is an issue that we should be fighting about. And I'm sorry,
There's a
but
lot of muck out there.
cannot help you here. I'm sorry, we cannot really help you beyond as much as we helping you right the fuck now. You know what I mean? So
Well, a part of the problem is
helping us. We've got to
that we didn't. A lot of them. The problem is they didn't listen. They didn't listen, and now they want us to go and save everybody. And I'm like, but you didn't listen. And now I go out there, I'm gonna get shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll find
Now
that
we're in
with
more
protests,
danger than we were earlier.
most protests are boomers that are out in front, of all color, of all race, of all. It's the older. It's. I'm on the cusp, but that's mainly who I see out there right
That's
now.
what they've been talking about I've been seeing it, and a lot of people have been saying when they go to rallies, that's who they see.
Well, even on with Don Lemon, the guy that was over No King's Day, he was on with Don Lemon yesterday, and they went into Marjorie Gabbard's office, and that's who was with him when they said that he was the one that started the commotion, but he didn't start no commotion. He was just, you know, filming it and listening, you know.
Yeah, Marley changed.
So, you know, but we do have people that are watching 24 hours a day. We just don't know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time I go to the protest, I went to the takeover, stop the takeover protest. Nobody young, just boomers. And boomers are really complaining about that. They're like, where are the young people at?
Yes, that's what
this
I
is
see.
going to affect them more than anybody, you know?
Yeah, okay.
In the long term.
You know, I think, and I agree, like, I wish that it was more effective to, you know, for everybody to get together, but we're not together. So I'm not like, shit, people got to go to work and got to take care of people. And when it comes to being sent on a dummy mission, I feel like that's how people are feeling. Like, I'm not going to sit here and go sit in front of the White House when y'all didn't even know that 3,000, 100,000 Black women even got fired from their job because you don't fucking care. And it was built into the system for it to work this way. We were always under attack. And so, like, why the fuck am I gonna go out? I voted. I did what I needed to do. 90%, 2% of Black women did what they were supposed to do. And for you to ask us to go out here and be Captain Save a Ho for everybody else when we're the first ones left behind is crazy to me. You must have lost your mind.
Yeah, I agree.
I want to share.
All right, on that, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I know we're trying to go, but I just wanted to share a follow up to our story last week about the shooting in Minneapolis, all the kids who were subjected to gun violence and 2 died. The families of the survivors are suing the U.S. government.
Oh, good.
For negligence, and alleging that the army could have stopped it by preventing that man from carrying out what they call one of the most preventable mass tragedies in American history. So I think this is something new and different, and I'd love to see it. I'm not sure what impact it'll have, but I think it's something that we haven't seen before, and I think that could have a positive change.
Well, that's because we didn't have a leader who demolished all those agencies, right? Who gutted the FBI, who gutted the CIA, who put a 22-year-old in charge of cyber intelligence. Are you kidding me?
And now all our information
So
is
this was the failure, and they should be sued. because that should have been caught. And I think
And they will be sued and held accountable in each and everywhere. All these people, Trump and everybody in this administration. I want all these ICE people with the mask on to be held accountable. I want all the way down to every level of complete just crimes against humanity. They need to be held accountable. Period.
Treason.
Yep. Treason.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So thank you for joining us. Wow, hot topics today. That's for sure. We keep it real. We definitely keep it real.
Well, that's what Don was, talking to them about, that they was going only to black cities and they not going to no white cities. They're not going to the red cities. They're going to just the black cities, to the black mayors. And I don't like that.
Oh, yeah. LA is highly Hispanic, but does have a black mayor.
Yeah, black and brown is what, they got targeting, the cities that got the worst crime in the red states.
Absolutely.
Come on over here to Indiana.
The good old boys. Yep. All right, guys. We'll see you Friday. Hit that little like button for us. And
thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We the people unite.